Hello, everybody. Welcome to Late Night Football. Welcome to our match reaction show. Yes, we're still doing a few of these. It's finished Spain 2, Italy 1 in the UEFA Nations League semi-final. I actually didn't know the Nations League was going on, and yesterday I found out that the Holland had played, or Netherlands had played Croatia, so I missed that one. But saw this one, and I mean Spain going through. Ultimately, this was a typical Spain-Italy game, wasn't it? Spain had all the possession and all the stats, but ultimately they lacked a goal scorer who could get them a goal. Italy, of course, were playing pretty much on the break and on the counter, but they didn't have a clinical striker either. So I think for both these two teams, the real issue is that lack of striker depth. But as I say that, there was one striker that stood above and stood tall, and that's Joselu, 33-year-old guy has not played in his only third cap for Spain, by the way, very, very late bloomer. He's had a very good season for Espanyol. He's been linked with the move to Real Madrid of all teams, and then he comes up and he comes on as a substitute, and the stage is written, the script is written, and he shows up and he says, "Yeah, I'll do it." And fitting that it's Rodri, because Rodri's had an amazing season as well. He scored that big goal in the Champions League final, of course, for Manchester City. It's a speculative shot. Let's be honest, it's a speculative shot, much like it's nothing. It's a nothing shot, but the deflection falls kindly for Joselu. I think Acerbi has got to do better. I think he's the one who's playing Joselu offside, if I'm not missing. It's Acerbi, because he doesn't get out fast enough. Now I understand it's difficult because you're trying to also anticipate for the shot, and you want to be as close to the goal as possible to block it. But and it makes it difficult, doesn't it? But at the same time, I think the anticipation could have been slightly better. Maybe he was a little bit too slow to get out. And that could be attributed to the fact that he was, as I said, trying to anticipate the shot, and he wants to stay back so he can block it. But ultimately, it's unlucky. It's a bit kind for Joselu, but he does ever so well to finish it off, because Spain had been pretty poor in taking chances. Just before that, Alvaro Morata had a chance and he just put it wide. So overall, I think Spain, on the balance of play, they deserve to win the game, because I think Italy just didn't do a lot. I think, like I said, it seemed like all they were trying to do was defend and counter, and that works if you have a clinical forward line, but Italy don't have that. So at times, and the same thing with Spain, at times it looks slow and ponderous. I think until Fabian Ruiz came on, I think he changed the game a little bit. Fatih's pace changed the game a little bit, but it just looked for me, it looked like the game was going to go to extra time and then penalties. That's how it was looking, and then suddenly Joselu pops up and he scores a goal. But it was a good goal. It will be interesting to see what happens in the final, of course, because I think both teams are again going to be relying on that midfield. Croatia, of course, I've got a phenomenal midfield. Spain have got a very good midfield as well. Gavi was excellent today. I think they've also got of course, they've got Merino as well. Maybe Fabian Ruiz gets into that team for the next game. I wonder if he comes in for somebody. I wonder who gets dropped, but he might come in. But ultimately, it's another tournament final for Spain. Also, a shout out to Unai Simon. I thought he was excellent in goal. Didn't have a lot to do in the second half, but he stood tall. I think his distribution was excellent. His passing was good, and he fits very well into that Spain team as well. So you can see why he's number one for Spain. So ultimately, like I said, I think Spain deserved to win. There was one team that deserved to win the game, the Spain, because I think they were the better team. I think Italy will feel a little bit hard done by, and I think they'll be missing Bastoni. I wonder if they would have regretted not having Bastoni in the side, because they probably would have wanted him. I know he wasn't there for whatever reason, but yeah, I think he could have made a difference as well in the defense. But yeah, ultimately, I think Spain deserve winners. It's hard because international football is so difficult, right? There's a lot of not so much context in games, and so it's hard to review them as standalone fixtures. As far as Italy are concerned, they now have to go back to the drawing board. I think they still need a little bit more rebuilding that needs to be done. I think post World Cup, I think they need to look into how they're going to actually shape up. And I still feel there's a few positions where they're relying too much on players that they shouldn't be relying on. I think Jorginho is one of them. Bonucci is another one. So they need to start looking beyond those players and start saying, maybe this was like a sort of a last dance kind of thing for some of them, but they need to start looking beyond those names and start thinking about who's available. I don't know who's available next cap of the rank sort of thing, but they then need to start looking at players, because I think these players kind of have gone past that date. From Spain's point of view, I think Jesus Navas is still starting, so that's something, isn't it? That he's still starting for Spain again. Maybe his last dance as well. For he's just doing these two games, but they've got to start. They've got to look there as well. I think Jordi Alba as well. How long will he be around? Because he's moving to the MLS probably. So is he going to be around for long? He had a good game today, by the way, too, Jordi Alba actually. So it wasn't that. I'm not advocating for these players to be to be discarded. What I'm saying is it's interesting to see how many positions still that there's not better options than what's already there. And the players that are playing are still playing. I mean, Navas has been playing since before the World Cup, hasn't he? He's I think probably the last survivor of that 2010 World Cup winning team as well, if I'm not mistaken. So they're gonna have to start thinking about players beyond that. But I mean, that's a fun conversation for another day, of course. But anyways, congratulations to Spain. Well done on the win. Of course, well deserved win. And now it's about facing Croatia, and let's see what happens. And Croatia will be. I think Croatia will be happier that they're facing Spain rather than Italy, because I think Italy probably with their defensive style might have created problems for Croatia in terms of controlling the game, in terms of winning. But I think Spain's style, the way Spain play, I think will be more suitable to Croatia. I'm not saying Croatia will win, but I think it will be more suitable for Croatia, and I think it will make for a much more exciting game. But we'll see what happens. Anyway, smash like for this video, smash like for Spain. Do share your thoughts on the game, of course, and do subscribe to our channel on YouTube. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and we'll see you again very soon. We've got lots of videos, lots of news filtering in. We're doing as much as we can, so do subscribe, do hit the notification button so you can stay notified as videos drop. Thank you so much. Take care. We'll see you again soon. Bye bye.